Hi.
Is this Sean?
Yeah, that's me.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, you're on the air.
Very well, thanks. All right. What's on your mind? Oh,
Well,
no.
I'm thinking that one of the reasons that the logical arguments that we often use is not quite as effective as we would like against theists is because they have just so much invested in their beliefs, and I think until we can make them realize that they can't make an objective assessment of the facts, due to their seeing one of the possible outcomes as unlivable, they often say that it's unlivable to live as an atheist, that we won't be able to change their minds.
I think you're right that there's a heavy emotional investment and that does stand in the way of an unbiased assessment of data. I went through that myself when I deconverted.
People do write in a lot and say, can you help me figure out what will change the mind of this person? And my simplest answer is no. People generally go through a progression when they deconvert. I mean, it's not like this sudden road to Damascus experience when it's like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that argument. That changes everything. Usually they, if they go there at all, they have to change their mind in stages. And in many situations, it's not really my business to push on them something that, to say your beliefs are all stupid and you should change right now. I can only argue with them a bit at a time, sort of around the edges of where we have common ground, I think.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that also write in to talk about the extensive fear that they felt when they had trouble believing as children or young people, when they started to not believe. There's a definite theme of fear. And I've even had theists who believe write in to tell me that, aren't you afraid of hell? And I think to myself, they don't understand. They'll say that fear is not key to why they believe, but I know that it is, because you wouldn't try to use fear to manipulate someone else to believe if you didn't feel it was effective in yourself.
Right. Also, I mean, on the nonprofits last week, I think they brought up a letter that we received, one of several letters actually, where somebody was talking about, like, I'm in a relationship with somebody who's a theist, and we really, I think this person's great except for our completely incompatible views. Can I change their minds?
No.
And sorry, probably not. I mean, if you want to stick out the relationship for other reasons, we really have been getting a lot of these kind of emails lately.
Yeah.
If you want to stick out the relationship for other reasons, I have observed that the theist tends to be more likely to drift toward atheism, but I wouldn't count on that, and I don't think that there's any, like, super skull-penetrating arguments that work on everyone every time.
And you never know when that person is just going to have some weird experience or talk to their family, or something will occur in their life and they just become uber religious. So there's an absolute chance there. But I think you're right. There's a heavy mental and emotional investment that I think is drilled into most of these people when they're very small. And it's hard to undo that, and for the person it's particularly difficult because in addition to trying to have a discussion with someone like you, for example,